If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of Alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
Rubbish. That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in a Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Gobblers of Dregs. Mastodon.
Mastodon, Gobblers of Dregs. He was texting me. He's like, "Hey, you listen to some Mastodon?" All right, Gobblers of Dregs, Mastodon. I'm extremely curious about this song. Let's do it.
Interesting.
That was Mastodon, Gobblers of Dregs. I cannot put my finger on. There's like some Tool here. There's some. This thing was all over the place.
You know what reminded me of?
Go ahead.
Typo.
Typo negative? Really?
Yeah. It like
That's
okay.
so fascinating.
The way that I like Typo, I liked this that way.
This guy has a very, very, very distinct voice.
So like you know how like with Typo, like the music
really...
kind of, like his voice kind of like goes.
Sales, yeah.
Yeah, and so he kept doing that with his voice. I really liked it. It was a relationship song too, right?
Yeah, it may very well. I feel like Maynard has the best like
traveling voice like that.
Traveling voice, if you want to call it.
Yeah,
but he can really make that shit go. But this guy has a. I agree with you. Like he's a very, very specific vocal style. It's really really fascinating.
Mm-hmm. I very much enjoyed it. You know what?
And you say
we've reviewed them before. We've reviewed them before.
I think we did like 1 or 2 Mastodon songs.
Yeah, but I don't understand how come.
Yeah,
like,
I figured this would be a massive.
Is his vocal style different in this song than it was in the other ones we reviewed? Because I definitely this like stood out to me as like, oh, I would like to hear more of it. Oh 100%. Yeah, and so, literally you have a couple of Mastodon songs. Yeah, yes, the next. 2 songs.
The next 2 songs are Mastodon songs.
Nice.
So, yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm curious to know if it's going to be similar or not.
Is he doing something that he's
different?
Never done before?
Or
that chorus like really stuck with me. I left you in the way. Singing along at the end, make me feel like I could sing. Long and frayed static surrounds us. Break the fall, safely land. When man can climb to see his rejection, his spirit will burn and evaporate. I left you in the wind to pull the scraps together. I'm the one who sinned. There's more for me to weather. So, you're saying that's are you saying that's why it's a relationship song to you? Because that line, I left you in the wind.
Well, more than just that. He says complications of loss and gain. The grace he gave is filling the void. How to proceed with new direction as photographs melt away. That to me seemed very relational. And I just guessed that the he was, maybe she moved on and someone else is giving her. Like, I mean, really.
I think it's about his dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I left you in the wind to pull the scraps together. I'm the one who sinned.
It's probably a conversation it's probably the ghost of his father talking to him.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because it says, when man can climb to see his rejection, his spirit will burn and evaporate. And then it says, how to proceed with new direction as photographs melt away. Complications of loss and grace. Of loss and gain, the grace he gave is filling the void. So you're saying filling the void of him in relationship to a girl. I'm saying that the love that his dad gave him is filling up the fact that his dad is gone. So
the love that his dad gave him. So you think he had a good relationship with his dad, and that's filling the void? Why are we talking about sin then?
I don't know if he had a good relationship with his dad, but his dad was good. He's saying, I'm the one who sinned. So it could be the son talking to his dad saying, I left you in the wind, I'm the one who sinned, but you were a good dad, and the grace that you gave me is filling the void of your absence, basically. How to proceed with new direction as photographs melt away.
I don't know.
I mean, it's possible. For the sun to rise so I can say my last goodbye.
Mm-hmm. All that I needed from you was your warm embrace. Turns out that was mine to give.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like odd language from a kid to a parent.
Doesn't seem odd to me. That's something I'd say to my dad if he was. What's odd
That's
for a
true.
kid to say to their parent?
That's true. Well, yeah, you could say that. The all that I needed was your warm embrace. Turns out that was mine to give.
Yeah. I could say that to my dad.
I
wouldn't say it to you. Fools play into broken plans, turn straight from service.
Well, I think that fits, again, that fits for any relationship, not just that one, because there are a lot of people that want more love in a relationship, but they're very cold at giving it. And so they don't create this sort of environment. Like, you know how you'll see, like, even like in movies or whatever, you'll see these, are we gonna...
I'll take care of that after the break. Don't worry about it.
You know, like where there'll be somebody that's like really, really grouchy and really cold, but then they do their backstory and there's like lack of love in their backstory. You know what I mean? Like, and so all I needed was your warm embrace. Turns out it was mine to give. So like a lot of times, well, kind of like what we were talking about before, like you create your own reality for yourself. And so, like for instance, I've noticed that, you know, if you and I are in a particularly happy-go-lucky mood, well, the whole world's a party.
Yeah.
You know, and everywhere we go, people are like, hey, yeah. But if we're both pissed off, like it feels like everywhere we go, like everybody's in a bad mood everywhere.
Yeah.
So like I do think that you do, in that sense, create your own. The difficulty, this is not necessarily about the song, but the difficulty is when you're so negative that like I'm talking about like our energy together and what we create when we go out.
Yeah.
But then there's like your own personal energy and the energy that you create around yourself everywhere you go. Like I remember working with certain people that like were always friggin' miserable every day at work. And when they came in, they just brought this cloud of misery like Eeyore right into the, you know, right into the workplace. And it was like, holy shit, here they come again.
You again.
And so, yeah, but I remember thinking like, well, I kind of feel bad for them because that's the world they create everywhere they go because nobody wants to turn the party up when they come in. Everybody's like, oh, this person again, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. For me, you know, AT is speculating that it could be a manager who was a father figure. He said father figure as well. And maybe, you know, just because, you know, I have my issues with my dad, that, you know, 98% of which, in my opinion, at this point, were not his own doing. But it is something I think about, like, you know, the next stage in my dad's life is, I mean, I'm not going to talk about it, but I don't really have that relationship with my dad, so
yeah,
it's one of those things where it's like, if you have a dad or a father figure, I could definitely, like, see this being something you would say in that situation. You know, I left you in the wind to pull the scraps together. It's a weird situation because, you know, you know, he's right. I mean, I go through these phases where I talk to him. You know, there's one little stretch where I was talking to him weekly, and then there's another stretch in which, like, I can't talk to him at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I understand it's probably confusing, hurtful, or whatever, but it takes so much out of me to talk to him because there's the whole backstory and all the rest of it. It's just really hard to talk to him a lot of times. I gotta kind of gin myself up to have a conversation with him.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
But then the other thing is like, if I talk to him after a long time, it's like, hey, how come you haven't talked? And like, I know, like if it was Dorian, you know, one of these days Dorian's gonna move out.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And I know that if a day or two or three went by, you know, but one of the reasons the way that I am with Dorian is because of the experience or lack thereof of having a father in the first place. So, you know, I'm not, you know, because I didn't have a father, I wanted to have sons so that I could give, you know, my sons that experience or whatever. And so Dorian was the first one to show up, so he got the brunt of a lot of that. And so that's like a lot of our relationship now. I don't think we'd be as close if I had a normal, healthy relationship with my dad, because I became obsessed with being like this involved father.
Maybe.
And all the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? So.
Maybe.
You know.
Yeah, but do you think that,
yeah.
You know, like when we move and, you know, like you guys have a conversation about.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things where like I just have to be down there and we got to be in proximity and all the rest of it. You know, like, part of my issue now is like, but yeah, probably things will probably be different if,
if you're right there and,
you know, if we're there and we can talk and whatever, and you know, I don't know, but you know, hopefully, you know, once all this goes through and our plans work, hopefully I can pay off the rest of his house, and that'll kind of be a, you know, I can say, hey, you know, I did something to take care of my dad or whatever, you know, because it's one of those things where like he wasn't around, but then now like he wants to be around, but you know, I'm an adult now, I'm a grown up now, and I live my entire life without my dad, so I don't know like how exactly to. Yeah, I don't know. So, you know, I don't know. So, anyway, so that's kind of what was going on with the song for me as I was listening to it. I was like, yeah, those relationships with between fathers and sons are
Oh, look, this one could be too, yeah. Fools play into broken plans, tuned straight from the servant's hand, reaping ill-gotten plans, bleeding this love away. Like, you know, I had this friend growing up, and his dad was never around for him, and I mean, this is the typical story that so many people say. He'd sit out on the sidewalk waiting for his dad, and then like his dad wouldn't show up, and like instead of just calling the mom and saying, "Yo, I'm not gonna be there," he'd be sitting out there waiting, and this happened again and again and again and again, and it was just. But a kid is always hopeful that the parent might come through, and so it just. But right there when it said fools play into broken plans, so like, I think that can become that sort of environment when plans get broken and hopes get wrecked. It creates a sort of environment where it says bleeding this love away. Like, I think that it slowly goes. Like, you could tell that his relationship was, I mean, he still wanted that from his dad when he was older, but really, I mean, he was a kid when he was 18. He's 17. He had just turned 18. So he was still like not far off from Dorian. So now I'm like looking at the situation. I'm like, oh my God, he was just a kid. He seemed older to me because I was 16. So I felt like he was grown up because he was like 17, 18. But yeah, he was really just a kid, and he was in a lot of pain because of it. So yeah, I could see where you were saying it would be a dad situation as well.
It's strange, man, because my mother, aside from my dad not being around, which was again not his decision, but my mother did way more things to hurt. Like, she did things purposely to hurt me. But the way that I talk about my mother, like, she's like the greatest person in the world.
Yeah.
When my mom died, like, that like, my older brother was, I'd never seen my older brother in that type of situation when my mom died, because, you know, there's a lot of untied shoelaces between my older brother and my mom. And my younger brother, I mean, he's a baby. I mean, you are the baby, bro. Like, don't be mad at me, but you are the baby. So, like, when all the funeral and all that, like, I had to be strong, and I had to go up there and, you know, whatever. But afterwards, like, my stepdad was here and my dad was there. Like, I was gravitating toward my stepdad, and my dad was, and of course, like, I'm completely, like, brainless when it comes to that stuff. Like, I don't understand how to read those situations. So, like, my dad brought it up after. He was texting me about something. He brought it up after. I'm like, what's he talking about? Because my whole thing was like, my stepdad came up with us. He went through all the bullshit with all of us. I mean, he was the cause of that. But he went through it with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was there, and so, like, when my mom died, it was like I was going to him because, like, we had this common experience with my mom. It had nothing to do with, like, oh, you're more of a father than me, than my real father. Like, that wasn't it. Because honestly, like, I really didn't look at my stepdad as a father figure. Like, no disrespect to him. He was just, you know, like, the way he was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't really. So I realized that when I saw it in text and whatever, I'm like, holy shit, okay, he's hurt by that. Like, yeah. So, like, basic things that, like, other people could see, like, plain as day, like, oh, that obviously that's going to be hurtful. And, like, I completely
you knew because you said it. You told me about it.
I told you after. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
after the event, but not that far after the event.
Well, he texted me, like, that day.
Oh.
So.
Oh, I thought.
Like, I, you know, it's just those things where it's just, like, it's very, very, very difficult to try to, like, navigate, okay, like, this is your dad, like, cause you know what I'm saying, like, if I'd have had that in my head, like, I would have absolutely, like, you know, been a lot more diplomatic or political about it, because Like
Yeah.
my role at that particular event was to, you know, give her a good send off and like be strong for everybody or whatever. And I did a pretty good job of it. But that part was a blind. Like I don't sit there and beat myself up about it. I don't feel guilty about it. It's just one of those things where I was like, oh, okay, like this is one of those things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anyway, it was a deep song. It's a good song. It's a solid 9 for me.
9.6 for me.
There you are, dear listener. More Mastodon goodness coming for you in a second. Vin
Yeah.
out.
Sorry out.
Gone.